Okay, well, I'm here with a gentleman who has a little bit to say about something he's up to this year. Who am I with?
I'm Walter Wilson.
Hi, Walter. So, what are you up to this year?
I'm going to run for the City Council of Temecula. It's time for me to step up to the plate and help our city out of Temecula. So the elections is in November, and I will be on that ballot.
Okay. And you've been living around here for a while, haven't you?
We actually moved to Temecula in '86. I came to Temecula in '77. I figured after marrying my wife for 2 years, it was time to meet her family. So we came out in '76. But my job at the time took me up to Camarillo for 10 years, and then we actually moved here in '86. And we raised our kids here. We've had our son graduate from Temecula High, and our daughter graduate from Chaparral.
Okay. And what do you do here in Temecula as a full-time living?
Full-time living, I'm a real estate broker here with Caldwell Banker for that. Being with the realtors in town and living with the code of ethics that I've signed on the dotted line that I will do the code of ethics. I'm on the board of directors at the Southwest Riverside County Association of Realtors. There, I am their chief financial officer.
You've actually been president, haven't you?
I have been a past president. I will be the president again at the association in 2 more years for that. And I think that would help me with the city council as far as that, because I think most of our problems here in Temecula have to do with the housing market. Although we are the #2 safest city in the state of California, we also sit in the top 5 regions throughout the nation for real estate fraud, for foreclosures, for houses under market, and other real estate problems that we have. And I think with that, I can help the city council understand that and help our citizens in Temecula understand some of the frauds, things that are going on, so they can dodge some of those bullets and stay out of trouble.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more about you a little later. We're going to be doing some more of these little videos, little clips of you, and when you have some other things we want to talk about, we'll put you back on YouTube. How's that, Walter?
Terrific, and I hope I earned every one of your votes.
All right, thanks a lot.
1 year they're #2 and we're #3. Next time we're #3. Irvine always takes #1. Well, I don't know. I've never lived in Irvine for it. But being in the #2 safest city in California, and me being a realtor, and I'm also on the fraud task force of the Southwest Riverside County Association of Real Estate, I know we sit in the top 5 regions for fraud, real estate fraud, for foreclosures, for houses underwater, and all the way down the list. So I want to stay at #2. And I don't think a realtor position for private property rights and understanding the fraud is there at our city council today. And we need to get that.
Okay, what can they do more? Because I was being educated by your wife about mortgage fraud, and I just don't know anything about it.
We need to get that out to the residents of Temecula so they know what the fraud is happening in our city, so they can dodge that bullet when it comes to them.
How do you dodge the bullet? I mean,
if I want to buy your home,
what's the bullet?
One of the bullets there is I'm going to come and buy your home, and you're a short sale person, and we work out our short sale, but you want a little money, extra money because you're in short sale, and short sale don't give you any money. You say, well, I have a barbecue pit in the backyard. I'll sell you for $5,000 if I'm going to let you sell my house that cheap. That's fraud. That's illegal. And if you have a loan that's done by the federal government, they can come after you for about 10 years.
Like construction on a new house or something like that? Or how do you get in a new house when you do something like that?
You have to wait 2 to 5 years on a short sale for that. Everybody thinks that during a foreclosure or short sale, you have to stay out of the market for 7 years, 5 to 7 years. But it's not really true. What happens is you talk to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, HUD, and all the rest of them, they have a 2 or 3 year coverage on those. The lending institutions put the other 3 or 4 years of coverage in.
Okay.
So now we have all these properties in here that are underwater, under short sales. People on the West Coast, average time, if I stop paying my note today, the average time for me to sit in that house before the bank walks up and says, you need to move, I foreclosed on you, 2 years. If you live in New York, 3 years.
Well, let's talk about this. Can we go back to traffic?
I have one more question.
I'm sorry.
I have one more question about this. I knew a couple that got divorced, a fireman, and he sold his house, but then he went into an even bigger house. How would you do something like? I thought, how's he doing that? Because all he was doing was
That's what got us in trouble in the first place.
The question is, did they buy the house before they walked away from their old one?
Oh, that's
Qualify.
right.
Oh, is that
how
the
you
buy
do
and
it?
bail?
Yeah, back-
They go
buy and
and
bail.
they have a great income. They buy a bigger home for less money than what they owe on their current home. Way cheaper because the market's half of what it was in 2002 or something when it was at the peak. So we're down half of that. So they buy the house, and then now they're in a distress situation because they're saying, okay, I've got this house, I can't rent it out, I'm not making enough money, but I got my new home, so I qualify for distress. Let me short sale my old home. It's
Even
the
though they're
buy
owning
and
a
bail.
bigger, better.
They are because they paid less for it than what they owe on their old home.
A lot of people did it strategically, doing that, because they're saying, okay, I got my home here at this square footage, and I can walk 2 houses down and buy a foreclosure home
They're buying it before
for
they start
half the
short
price.
sale. Once you start short
And
sale
my notes half
process,
the
again.
price. So let me give me a rental agreement
So who's
on my
frauding
house.
who? I mean, that sounds like,
It's the
It's the lending
seller.
institution. The lending institution said, can you breathe on this mirror?
I
I got a
got
loan
you.
for you.
Wow. Okay, so
You make $60,000 a year, but what about your tips? Don't you make another $60,000 on tips? What's that? Yeah, you winked at me. I got that down, and yes.
Wow.
You can't still do that.
No,
No.
not anymore.
Not anymore.
There's no more
Good.
stated
There's
income.
no more stated income.
Yeah.
But if